Okay, in this video, I'm going to show some of the array methods. As you recall in the last video, I said an array is an object. An object has methods, an object has properties. So let's look at some of the methods that an array has. And so we'll start very simply with something I call an array sample. And it's in class program. Again, here's my main. Static because I'm not creating an object. And this time I have an array called water depth. And again, I have initialized it. Here are my different values. And you can see it's an array of doubles. So everything here has to be a double. Even though it says 45, the program will take it as 45.0. So here we have just an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elements. This is an array of 9 elements. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, well, I also should say I have an output string and output message, I should say, which is a string. And right now it doesn't have anything in it. But we will change that as we go forward with this program. I also have a second array, which I have not initialized. And that array is called W. And it's also an array of doubles. And it has room for 20 elements. So I have 20 elements possible in this array. So the first thing I want to do is say, display the contents of array water depth. And I'm going to do a little thing here. I'm going to have the output message, which has really nothing in it right now. And I'm going to add to that water depth array, new line, new line. So now the output message is nothing, water depth array, new line, new line. And I'm going to say display array, and I'm going to send the output message, and I'm going to send water depth, which is this array right here. Now let's go down right here to my display array. So I'm passing a string, which is the message that says water depth array, new line, and I'm passing the array, an array, and I set it to a double, and here's telling it's an array. So even though here I call it water depth, I'm just calling it an array here. So now I have a string caption, system array methods illustrated. And again, the for each, double, and I call the variable double val in an array, add it to the message I'm saying. So I'm taking the message, which is a string, and I'm adding double val to it. And then I'm putting a new line after it. So what happens is I'm going to get water depth array 45, 19, 2, 16.8. They're all going to be added as they come in to my message. So I then put it in a message box. And if you don't know what message boxes are, Chapter 6, page 339 it starts, and it goes about to I think it's about 345. And it explains what a message box is. What a message box is just a box that will come on your screen with the information you have. So let me just run this once so you can see it. Boom, there's my message box. And system array methods illustrated. Wow, that was my caption. It's right here. Water depth array. That was my message here. And then, like I said, for each value, I added it on to my message. So I got 45, 19, 2, 16.8 with a line in between each one of them. And message box puts a nice, neat box. And interestingly enough, the button works, and so there's a little X at the top. So that's just kind of a quick way to put a little message box up there that you can try sometime. MessageBox.show. MessageBox is the namespace. Class. Show is the method. And to use MessageBox, you have to have a using system.windows forms at the top. So system.windows.forms is the namespace. So MessageBox.show. Okay, So there, what we did was I just printed out, I passed the array, I printed it out, and I printed it out in a message box. Now, let me take the next section here. Oops, wrong way. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the methods in the array. And I'm just looking for it. In Chapter 7, they listed a number of different methods you can use. I just can't find the page offhand. Page 414, Table 7.1, lists a number of different methods and properties you can use with arrays. What this one does, copy, is it takes the array water depth, and it says start at element 2, which is the 2, 0, 1, 2, copy into W. Again, we had another array called W, starting at element 0, and copy 5 things. So we'll get 2, 16.8, 190, 0.8, and 510. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Again, what I'll do is I'm going to put an output message saying array W, and then 2 lines, and I'll display it by using the same method I had here. So I'll pass, this time instead of array water depth, I'm passing array W with the output message. And again, this will say at the top, system array methods illustrated. And it will go through the array W. And it will print out all the messages. So let us start. So, let's move this out of the way. Here we got water depth array. This is my first one. Now let me say OK. Boom. There's my second one. Water array W. And here's 2, 16.8, 190, 0.8, 510. If I look, there it is, 2, 16.8, 190, 0.8, 510. And the rest are zeros because I didn't set them to anything. Now, I'll show you there. I'll get out of it that way. So that was the method of copying. So I copied the elements starting at 2 for water depth, and I'm placing them in array W starting at 0, and I'm doing 5 of them, 2 to 510. Okay, let's do the next part, and we're going to sort array W in ascending order. You get that? Okay, so again, I take array W, and I'm going to put them in ascending order. And again, all this is array W sort, another method in the array class. So let's start that up. Here's my water depth, because I kept that in there. Here's W. Now if I look in ascending order, boom, all the zeros come first in 0.8, 2, 16.8, 190, 510. Okay. And finally, let's put them in descending order. So we're going to reverse the elements. So again, array.reverse W. And the only reason this is descending is because I already put them in ascending. If these were still mixed up, it would just reverse the whole array. Again, I just say array.reverse. Here's my output message and my display. So let's run this one more time. There it is. Okay, there it is, just array W. There it is in ascending order. And there it is reversed in descending order. So then, this is just a quick way of showing you how to pass arrays, how to use some of the methods in arrays. So you don't have to, like sorting, you don't have to write your own code to do a sort. It's already there. So hope this helped you a little bit with arrays. Again, any questions, put them on the discussion board. I'll answer them or bring them to class next week. Thanks.